no opportunity. Registration really is where the rubber meets the road. You got something at stake then. When you register into something, you have a new future you're living into. But registration is only powerful when the context for registration is enrollment. Right? If you register into something and you're forced, that's not powerful. So registration is only powerful when the context for it is enrollment. When people are present to possibility, they see the opportunity to register into something, to fulfill on that possibility as natural. So let me hear from somebody. What are you hearing in this conversation? Yeah, Olga? Can you give them the mic, please?
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So what I'm getting out of this conversation is the opportunity to participate. And the opportunity to play bigger in the registration conversation.
Yeah.
So I have a short story. You want to share that?
Is it an actual short film?
Okay, go quick.
Yeah. So whatever, yeah, just make it really short.
Okay. So
You just look at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So out of the seminar, we created a family reunion. Okay. So my mom and dad have 14 brothers and sisters. My mom alone, okay, 7 and 7. So we had a family reunion 2 weeks ago. And it was a 3-day event. One beach day, a formal gala event, and then a picnic. And I was in charge of the gala event. And so that meant that I needed to create a collage of pictures, which was 350 pictures of everybody that submitted it, put that together. And then you needed to create a team for enrollment, getting everybody's information, because we don't have everybody's names or address or emails. So there was 250 at the reunion, okay? And so I needed to create teams for different people, and I needed to enroll myself. I'm the oldest grandchild in California, so it was me, like I'm it, right? And being me, I can't manage all these events. So this is team, work, partnership, coming from already being related. All of these things just came together. But I had to enroll myself and say, I'm the one that's gonna have this happen. Like I'm gonna put on my big girl panties and it's gonna happen. and it happened. And I created teams in different areas. And that night, which I was in charge of Saturday's event, I just had to be present and did nothing. But I already had done everything. There's a way of being that you just get to be, and I never had experience just being and having it all happen. Because I'm a doer. I can do things and this was just, I had to just be and have everybody show up the leader that they are, because I held them as the leader. And I held them as partners, and I held them as being related already. Because the people that were at the reunion were only first cousins. No girlfriends were allowed, nobody. It was just like, everybody here had to relate and get along and dance. And the 2 girls, they were dancing and they were like holding hands and like they loved to be, and they didn't even know each other because, some of these cousins, you don't see them that often. And so it was just like magical, creating partnership, romance, and love all in one weekend. And then it came out of re-registering me that I was going to be the space where that happened. Like miracles can happen around us once we take on enrollment, partnership, romance, and we just enroll ourselves into life or wherever we're being called to be enrolled to. Yeah. That was short and quick and to the point.
Very good. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. So I'm going to say, I don't know if you enrolled yourself in that as much as you enrolled other people. So you created a
and it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be easy and effortless, and everybody's gonna play.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's creating a world with your words
Yes.
and creating a possibility.
And enrolling others.
That's what, and then enrolling others.
And so that's kind of all of that in one.
Yeah, very good.
There's a short share.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so between now and next session, keep dwelling in this. What does registration look like in your life? Stand for people. Make a difference with people in your life. Okay, anything anybody else wants to say about that conversation? Yeah, well, come on.
Okay, so talking about what registration means, at enrolling, since like, I took the form last year, and ever since I've shared a lot with my parents.
Step up in the mic. Oh, just really close.
Okay, so I've shared a lot with my parents. You know, like especially at the time, I wasn't even talking to my dad. Like, I personally got them, like I pushed them to get divorced. You know, like their relationship wasn't good, and it was just like the best situation for my mom financially and other reasons. So I just kind of pushed them to get divorced, and I just, a lot of things I did just to kind of finalize it, and a lot of the family wasn't talking to my dad for months and months, but after the forum, like, you know, I just had to make that complete, and, you know, start that conversation with my dad, and open it up, and me apologize to him, you know, and so that created that new relationship. You know, we started talking again, and, you know, after that, you know, he got sick for some time, and at the time, I was the only one helping him, taking him to the hospital, and I lived like 45 minutes away from them, and my sisters lived like 5, and nobody would even take him to the hospital, you know, when he was really sick, and I had to drive all the way just to take him there, and you know, I realized that, you know, he noticed that, you know, that there was a change, you know, and I kept sharing with him about things that I was learning and stuff, and my mom too, you know, I would share things with her, and I think that the enrollment process was just me sharing with them and them seeing, you know, how it's impacting my life, you know, and just in sharing with them what's going on and how things are changing, and like session 7, you know, my dad and my mom still don't have the best relationship. Like my dad's trying to make things better, or my mom, no, but I invited them both to the session 7, and my mom wanted to come and my dad wanted to come, but you know, my mom needed me to pick her up, and again, it's like, well, we drive an hour opposite way to get over here, you know, and in the end, I just kind of pushed her and convinced her, and they ended up driving together and getting here. So both my parents were here, and they drove here together. And so, and my dad, like, it was really awesome because my dad was really into it. He's like, oh yeah, I see this. So my dad really enjoyed it. He said that he could see that is something that was very helpful and stuff. So they didn't sign up. I mean, they came up with their little excuses, but at least he saw a possibility, you know? He saw a possibility, and I think that, you know, just keep enrolling, you know, and that's gonna...
Keep standing for them?
Yeah.
And stand in the registration, in this conversation.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think that was more like the enrollment, and, you know, when we were talking about the context, you know, it was just you know, helping them see new possibilities.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Great, Laura. Thanks for sharing. Okay, new conversation. So how many of you did the assignment? Okay, good. And how many of you did not do the assignment? Okay, got that. Got that. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that. So what we're going to do is take some sharing from the assignment. Now, if you didn't do the assignment, this is for sure not an opportunity to check out. Okay, you want to be thinking and discovering for yourself, what had me not do the assignment? What conversations was I honoring that occurred to me is bigger than my word? Okay? So one of the assignments was to take on practicing love, accepting someone the way they are and the way they're not. So, who would like to share from that assignment? Yeah, Brandon.
Hey everybody.
That one?
Push to the left.
Push the Brandon down.
Push to the left. Oh, no, okay.
That first part was really big. I think I did that with mostly everybody in my life. When I had did the landmark forum, I realized that I was like constantly judging other people for not being like me. I was being like really selfish, and I had got a breakthrough, but I realized I wasn't loving people for who they were. So just off the top of my head, one of my friends' name was Brandon. Yeah, he's my friend too, but yeah, his name's Brandon, so it's kind of funny. But I was always like, oh man, like why aren't you like working and getting your money right and providing? I was just pretty much making a whole bunch of things that I thought he should have been doing. And then I talked to Brandon about it, and then he was like, yeah, just create that conversation with him. So I pretty much just like, hey man, like whatever you're doing, that's your priority in your life. Even if it may be different from what I'm trying to do, like that's perfectly fine. And you're still like one of my best friends. He's like, oh yeah man, don't even worry about that. Like like we're always gonna be good friends. And then somebody that I really did this with was my roommate, and he's like one of my good friends too. His name is Miles. And like constantly I would, because we both do the exact same job. So if I always would see him like slacking off or not trying his best and doing what he says he wanted to do, I would like always make him wrong for it. Like, why aren't you doing this? Or why haven't you gotten up? Or don't talk about it, be about it. And I just, when Brandon had said the whole love thing, accepting somebody for who they are, I was like, damn, I don't want to. I was like, well, there's nothing wrong with that. So I mean, like, why shouldn't I just do that and really just like be his best friend? So even this week, something happened with the apartment where it was flooding his bathroom, and a lot of my coworkers were like, oh, where's Miles at? Where's Miles at? I'm like, I mean, he's at the house, and honestly, like I just let him do what he wants to do, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I just had so much more peace instead of like constantly thinking about why he's not here. And then this last one's kind of ironic. I recently spoke with my ex-girlfriend from like a year ago. I think the main thing with our relationship was I was always trying to change her to what I wanted her to be. So it was kind of weird talking. Well, it wasn't weird, but it was cool. It was talking to her, and it was just like reminding myself of how much fun and how much happiness I had got out of the relationship. And like talking to her again, it just felt more liberating instead of like thinking about what I wanted her to be.
You could actually be with her in the conversation.
Yeah, just fully accepting her, because that's not what I did when we had dated. So I'm actually gonna hang out with her this Sunday. It's kind of weird being vulnerable, But it's gonna be pretty fun, so I'm kind of excited, and that's what I got out of that assignment.
Awesome work. Awesome work. Okay, so let me hear from somebody who didn't do the assignment. Jasmine, yeah, please, come on up. Okay, so what I want to know is why didn't you do the assignment?
Well, I wasn't here for session 7, but reading over my neighbor's paper, I realized that I kind of did do the assignment.
Okay, well wait, let's go back.
Okay.
So what does not being here at session number 7 have to do with not doing the assignment?
I didn't have it. I
Okay,
didn't have it.
good. This is a great opportunity. How many people have said that before throughout the seminar? I wasn't here last session, so yep. Okay, let's look inside of 100% responsible.
I should call my group leader and got the assignment,
Okay,
or I could have communicated with you as well.
very good. Yeah. So, what I invite you to do is just look where you give yourself the back door. Like a way out of things. You don't have to say anything about it right now, but just look in other areas of your life. Because see, that was easy. You gave me two solutions like boom, boom.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Okay, no more back doors. All right, great, Jasmine, thanks. I kind of want to do more people that didn't do the assignment. Anybody else want to share why you didn't do the assignment? It's an opportunity for you. Yeah, Artie, awesome. And everybody else who didn't do, yeah, what was that?
Yeah, I didn't do the
Just-
assignment.
Hold on one second. Just so you know, there's nothing wrong with not doing the assignment. There's nothing wrong with that. There's just an opportunity. Because the only thing that stopped you was a simple conversation. Right? But that simple conversation keeps you from honoring your word. It keeps you from creating new things in your life. It puts the cap on who you think you are for yourself. That conversation that you have is your ceiling. It only allows for a certain level of possibility. Go for it.
I didn't do the assignment because I came to a point of trying to be complete with myself. So I was really busy. I feel like I was landmarking for for the 2 weeks.
You were trying to get,
Yeah,
hold
I
on.
really.
You were trying to get complete with yourself.
Yeah,
So what does that have to do with not doing the assignment?
I was busy. It was like, I was like, that was enough landmark. That was like what I could do.
So how do you get complete with yourself?
So I'm still working on that.
Good. I'm going to give you the answer.
Okay.
How long have you been working on that?
The completing myself.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. So do you know the answer?
I am already complete.
Okay. Or you'll never be.
Yeah.
But if
I
you're
think
not-
it's really
hold on,
hard to
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
speak through all that.
You gonna make me do this again?
Probably.
So, you're always gonna have those conversations. Whatever conversation for everybody, whatever conversation is that stops you, that conversation's not gonna go away. The power comes from getting that that's a conversation. That's never going to go away. And if you're trying to get that conversation complete, you'll spend the rest of your life until you die trying to get that conversation complete. Where you want to get power in is noticing those conversations quickly, setting them aside, and then getting back into action around what you're committed to, what you're up to. Because really what you did for 2 weeks, I'm asserting by what you told me, is you're trying to get complete with yourself, which literally it probably looks like this. For 2 weeks, you're internal.
No, I felt I was in action.
Did you see that?
Yeah. Well, I think I did
If you're
that.
trying to get that conversation complete, though, with yourself, there's no, I'm not saying you did that specifically, but that's like what it looks like. You talking to yourself.
And what was also lacking was group support. There's a promise of like we have group and support is really not happening.
Okay.
And yeah, that's.
Well, what does that have to do with you completing the assignment?
Um.
I'm going to give you the answer before you give me anything.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with you completing the assignment. Does it say on there, do the assignment with your group?
No.
So I got it. You lack group support. That, you know what? Like I've said, this seminar is a representation of, we got a lot of different people in here, right? From a lot of different areas, dealing with a lot of different things, up to a lot of different things. Okay? You get a group this size, you're going to have a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And in the world, groups don't work that well in general. The intention in here is to transform that. Is that happening? I don't know. Maybe so, maybe some, maybe no. But that's your back door. Oh, my group's not doing well, so I don't want to do the assignment. I don't have any group support.
No, I just really didn't touch it. And I noticed it. I was,
Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Okay. So what's your new promise?
I've always done the assignments before. I probably do it again.
I'm talking about right now.
Okay.
What's your promise?
My new promise.
See, and you don't want to, look at me, hold on. So good. All this good stuff is coming out of your mouth tonight. Love it. I've always done the assignments before. Again, justifying why you're not doing this one, or that it's okay that you didn't do this one. No. It's not who you are. That wasn't your word. That's not your promise. You get that?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
I got that you got that.
So yeah, the promise is I'll do my assignments each and every time.
Okay, great.
Or not.
Yeah. Exactly. I didn't get a promise from you, but I'm assuming it's the same. Same promise? Okay, great. I got that. Artie.
All right. Good to see you again.
Okay, so you got all that?
I hope so.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I got that.
yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did get that. Yeah, there's no hope. Okay?
Yeah.
You either got it or you didn't.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome, let's acknowledge it. Okay. New conversation. So we're going to explore partnership now. It's the next dimension of relationships that we're going to create here. First, we got to look at what we already know about partnership, though. So when I say partnership, what's there for you already? What have you come to know about partnership? What do you have going on about partnership? Okay, I just want you to shout it out. This is the opportunity to get out everything that you already have going on about partnerships so that we can actually create partnerships from nothing. Don?
In my experience in the past in business, partnerships don't work.
Partnerships don't work. Drina?
You get extra help.
Extra help. John?
It's a give and take. One person gives, the other.
Got that. Rob? Two people operating as one. Good. Cindy?
It's not 50-50.
Not 50-50. Sheila? Common goals. Good. Artie?
Brainstorming.
Brainstorming. Teamwork.
Respect.
Respect.
Long-term commitment.
Long-term commitment.
Dragging somebody along.
Dragging somebody along. Y'all are great. Heaven.
Agreement.
Agreement. Aaron again?
Acceptance.
Acceptance. Okay, good. I need a clicker.
I got your clicker here.
Let me get the clicker. I want the clicker. I don't know. Which way do I push my button?
Well, you
That way.
just did it the correct way. It's the right way.
Okay. Everything everybody said, just imagine balling it up. Just put it in a ball, put it in a little bag. Just let it go. Okay, just let all of that go. Come from, well, if that's not what partnership is, what is partnership? Like, let's discover that, okay? Okay, so the first level, so there's levels here. The first level of partnership is designed around mutually aligned goals. And you probably don't want to write these down. If you, do you need a notebook? If you need a notebook, just raise your hand.
Tim?
So when partnership is designed from mutually aligned goals, the emphasis in the relationship is on the goal or the goals. Goals are specific and measurable. Okay, so you may have a goal with your spouse to buy a house by the end of the year, by December 31st. Or you may have a goal in your business to increase income by 25%. Right? Goals are specific and measurable. So in a partnership that's designed from mutually aligned goals, we would look at what we intend to have happen in reality and what we need to do to have that intention realized. So what are some mutually aligned goals you have in your partnerships? Again, just shout them out. Do you have anything mutually aligned? Good.
For us both to get to the seminars.
For you both to get to the seminars on Thursdays. Great. What else? Partnerships.
Happiness.
This is business. This is all relationships. Happiness. Okay? Well, that's not a mutually, that's not a goal. So goals are specific and measurable. So we want to distinguish these. Yep. Ross.
Live together before the end of the year.
Yeah, move in together by the end of the year. Got that. Yep. Jeff.
Financially comfortable.
Specific and measurable.
To have X amount of money.
Yeah, okay. Then you'll fill in the X. Yep. It's got to be specific and measurable. Okay, I get that. So you got, we don't spend more than $2,000 a month. Something like that. Okay, good. Got that. Yes, Nazila. Specific and measurable. What about it? These are mutually aligned goals in a partnership. Yes, she said weight loss, so I'm looking to get it specific and measurable. Yeah, 20 pounds. Okay. And if it was in a partnership, you're mutually aligned on that, maybe it's both of y'all lose 20 pounds by X date. Okay, you want to really start to get the world of what mutually aligned on goals looks like, specific and measurable. Artie.
Yeah, like, to really do that, you have to make sure that you're clear on the shared vision that.
Okay, well we'll get into that a little bit later, yeah. Yeah. Right now I'm just asking what are some mutually aligned goals that you have in your partnerships, like to open a yoga studio by the end of the year.
I'm creating a non-profit organization with doctors and healers, and right now we're having this board, and it sounds like they all have a great idea what it is, but it still differs.
Okay, so you're still working on your mutually aligned goals.
Yeah.
Okay, I got that. Yes, Lisa.
To get our daughter through college debt free.
Daughter through college debt free, yeah, clear. Rob?
Running the Honolulu Marathon together.
Okay, running the Honolulu Marathon together at the end of the year, yep, great. Yeah.
Moving back into our house August 4th.
Beautiful. Moving back into the house August 4th. Okay, great. So, at this level of partnership, there's a certain space or quality of relationship. What do you think is the space or quality of the kind of relationships that are designed around mutually aligned goals? What's the space or the quality of those relationships? Yeah, Lucy.
We work on the possibilities together.
Jumping ahead of me. Okay. I like where your head's at, though, always. Caroline?
So, our moving back into the house is to do a remodel, and it's very process oriented, there's a lot of.
Yes, very good.
Right, you're wrong, did we get this task done? It's very like,
Yeah, it's very practical, right? But it's also useful. Okay? So when you have specific and measurable goals, and in your partnership you're mutually aligned on goals, that can be useful. Things are getting done. Like you said, there's a lot of activity. So people often operate only at this level of partnership where you each have goals you are aligned on and supporting. Or you have common goals you're working on together. Okay, let's say the next level of partnership is partnership designed around commitments. Commitments now differ from goals. They have a much broader scope. Right? And they have direction. There are many goals that can fall out of a commitment. But when you have a commitment, the commitment is the primary focus. So you can have this big commitment, but there can be many goals within that commitment. Like you may be committed to having security for your family. Right? One goal that could come out of that is moving back into the house, or buying a new house, or putting your daughter or son through college. But it comes from the commitment of having security from your family. So what are some of the commitments in your relationships?
our best to raise our children? Or raising our children right?
Yeah, good.
As best as possible.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, clear. Very good, Joe. Very good. Yeah, John?
Based on reality, not subjective opinions,
What, based on reality?
the goals. You know, there's 5 things we want to accomplish and it's clear in
So you're committed to having a relationship based on reality?
creating,
Okay,
creating in reality.
okay. I can work with that. I can see that. Any other commitments you see you have in your relationships? Yeah, Scott.
What about committing to yourself and having discipline and follow through?
Well, that may be something that you do for, having a commitment to yourself.
To everybody else too.
Yeah. So right now, we're just specifically looking at in your partnerships, in your relationships, but that's a.
But I think if they don't, if I don't keep my commitments to myself and follow through with what I commit to them.
Well, I wouldn't go there right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's definitely a commitment you can have to yourself. You get that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Nazira.
Committing to your health, and the other one is building apartment flats.
Okay. So, it's interesting now, I've called on you 3 times. And every answer has nothing to do with a partnership or a relationship. You see that? Weight loss and your health would tell me so. And I forget the third one you just said. Retirement plan? I mean, that could be partnership, but I'm just not gathering that from how you're talking to me. Do you see that, or am I way off? I can be.
I'm that kind of person.
No, you're not. Yeah. Can you either, Mike? You're not that kind of person.
I find it easier, sorry, putting down. I find it easier to commit to things when you're in mutual partnership with others.
Yeah, good. So that's what I'm talking about. So what are some commitments that you have in your partnerships?
The ones that I mentioned couldn't be any of them.
So weight loss.
I just think if you work out together, it's easier.
Okay, I got that. My health.
The same.
No, saying my health has nothing to do with anybody else.
Oh, I meant health. Well, health.
Okay, you know that's not what you said, right?
Okay, got it.
And it's not.
Commit to.
I'm gonna tell you something. You ready? It's not an accident what comes out of your mouth.
I don't think I said commitment to health
do
and
it.
retirement.
No, you said your health. Just be with what I'm saying. Don't make it mean anything it's not. I'm with you. Everybody got what I just said?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get it bigger. This is for everybody. I'm just picking on Nazila because sometimes I like to do that.
He likes doing that,
Yeah.
in a way.
So, in your partnerships in life, give me a partnership.
Family,
With specific, one other person.
kids,
One other person.
ex-husband, husband,
Okay? So, what are commitments that you have with your ex-husband?
helping the kids, their goals.
Yeah, okay, so we're like helping them succeed in life and just be the best, right? Very good. You see how that's different than what you said? Now, what's one specific mutually aligned goal that you have in that partnership? This is what I want y'all, I'm just using her again, I want y'all all to be looking like this.
To get them where they're independent and successful and can give back to society as well.
Okay, good. So you, and to get it deeper, we don't have to right now. You can put like a by-win on that, or what that actually looks like in reality, like that. That would be specific and measurable. Okay, you starting to get the world of it? Yeah.
I just think the health and retirement, again, if you do it in a family, like if you do it with a partner, it's easier.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying how you said it didn't have me get that you were talking about a relationship or a partnership.
No, I meant health for both, for the family, or retirement for both.
Okay,
That's what I meant.
very good. All right, you got where we're headed?
Yeah.
All right, Azila, awesome. Let's acknowledge Azila. Okay, what's the space? So the space of mutually aligned on goals was useful. Okay, so what's the space of having commitments? When partnership is designed around commitments, what's the space or quality that's present?
Sorry, it's you. You're the one.
I did drop that.
Yeah, power.
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 Very good. What else do you see? Trust. Integrity. Good.
Enrollment.
Enrollment. Rob, you have your hand up too?
Say it's creative, it generates things.
Good. All those, right? Good job, Don. Power. You can summarize it by saying power. Say it again. I can't hear you. Can we get her a mic?
It just said how. It just said how.
Oh, how? How is the space of having commitments? How is that space power? Well, let's look. So if you're in a partnership, right? And you have commitments in that partnership. And then inside of your commitments, you have your goals. Okay, so in the partnership, coming from commitments, you're working on things together. You're in it together. You're mutually aligned on where you're headed. It has direction. Okay, and comes with that power. It's a lot more powerful to have commitments. Whereas mutually aligned on goals it's useful. It gets stuff done. But having commitments gives you a place to stand. A place to come from that gives you power. Okay? Good? Okay, good. Well, I got that. You would choose that word. And I'm inviting you to take this on. Whatever you want to call it. You gotta always talk in the mic because you always talk real quiet. Okay? And then you gotta always stand up. Okay? No, you're fine. You're good. Okay, so I don't know why you would say it's a landmark thing.
No, because sometimes you guys use words.
Okay. Yes. This is so good. Talk right into the mic, okay? So, you guys use words, she said. guess what? Guess who's you guys? You. You think you're different. Not you. We all do. We think Bonnie is different than me. You think we're separate. You think you and I are separate. How human beings relate to other human beings is one object to another object. What if you related to people